How's it going, guys? Let's do a quick video update for Bitcoin, and we can start off with the weekly with a quick look on market structure. Simply put, accumulation phase, right? You can see on the indicator as well was the beginning of the cycle. A lot of buy signals, some smart money coming in, right? And you have that massive expansion to the upside. And now, as we're getting into the top, breaking all-time high, you can see we're having some bearish divergence. Of course, it's not really important just yet, but at least it shows some kind of momentum is getting a bit extreme. And what is important to take a look here is that we're having these wicks to the highs, and all of the open and closes are on these levels, right? So this means that the distribution is happening around 70k, right, which is now sort of the main resistance. So there's a few patterns that can develop on a weekly basis, right? So that really will depend on, or will dictate sort of the future. So you're having price coming back down. If you have a weekly engulfing, right, which is extremely bullish, means that you could take some liquidity, move back up, pressure the highs, and then continue, right, will be the most bullish case. And then you have you can move lower, complete some kind of a market structure, meaning in that you fill in some of the void, what would be sort of the worst and the most extreme part at the moment, and will make a lot of altcoins suffer. And then you can argue that you're having the something between 50 and 40k, and then sort of contract there and then move back up higher, okay, which is sort of the worst case scenario. And then you're having the other one that close to the bottom will be around cap at these lows, and then you will see price sort of contract here and then sort of move higher, similar to something that we saw within this phase of the market, something like this. And you can look at all previous price history, just that you're having sort of a extreme sell-off, and then price goes into a contraction phase until next breakout, right? Very simple price action. Now, the difficult part is that since we are so overextended and very high, if you're trading with leverage, it can be difficult to be in the trade, because where's you're going to put the stop loss, you need to hedge it somewhere, and it can be sort of difficult, right? So that is sort of the overall high time frame pattern. And the other thing I think we can include as well is to understand that we're having also seasonal tendencies for Bitcoin that I have been researching about, and obviously is that price tend to pull back anything between February and April, okay, and then you often can see a contraction or a rally from May into the summer month and over the summer months, right? So you can argue that you're having lows are usually sort of put in. So you're having, if this is seasonal tendencies, you often have something like that, okay, like this, and then coming back down like this, and then you rally. So this is often April, okay, you put in a high, okay, and then around May and June you have a seasonal low. And keep in mind there's no magnitude in this, right? And then you're having a seasonal high in the middle of summer, let's say August or July, okay? And then your price goes into contraction, and often you have a major seasonal low around September, October, and then you get the massive rally, okay? So if you understand, if these are the sort of the seasonal tendencies that tend to happen for Bitcoin, right? That means that there's a high probability of price going into a contraction phase, but a contraction phase can be multiple things, right? It can be way too much. Let's use one example here that we can put in the low now. We can rally a bit into new highs, into, for example, to summer. Price sells off, we go into contraction, and then price just dies, and then you move something like a sideways pattern like this all the way into October, and then you're getting sort of the massive rally. And you can, inside this phase, there can be momentum driven stuff coming from altcoins, different kind of cycles and narratives being pushed. So there's a lot of stuff and that can happen. And overall, I think the idea should be that from now until after the summer, you have to sort of look at, in my opinion, I think 80K and 40K. This is sort of the range that you should expect price to stay within, and then you're getting the next sort of bull market from next year moving higher. So that should be the main consensus, in my opinion. And quite often a large rally like this, especially for altcoins, you want to see price going into a contraction phase if you want a prolonged bull market. Okay, let me just bring up a good example here from Bitcoin's price history. So if you look at the price history for Bitcoin, and we look at price all the way back, let's use 2000 here as a very good example that I saw previously. And you can see how if you put on timestamps on this, you can see that we had, so you can see here that we had a high around April, okay, and then you had the next sort of price run coming into October, okay, end of September to October, right? And then you had inside this time phase, you're having a contraction of price, okay, and then you're having a rally coming afterwards. And there's something similar that you can expect, in my opinion, coming for Bitcoin, okay, and then you're also having another rally previous to this, right? If you take here, you can see as seasonal tendencies coming from October, and then you're starting sort of the rally over that time period, okay, and that is sort of the consensus. And then you can see here previous to that, you're having a contraction here from January all the way in towards April, right? And then you're having, as I said, the expansion from that time period, right? So you're having all of these April, but keep in mind that when you're having longer bull runs, you want this longer contraction, right? So each time price contracts like this, right? So it moves into small body candle contraction, small body candle contraction, small body candle contraction. You get a longer period of a potential bull run, right? So if price is just to move extremely higher, okay, very fast, price can tend to sell off much more quickly, okay. And you can see that here from these seasonal tendencies as well. Here you're having March and April probably. Let's see, yeah. So you're having a contraction over January all the way towards May, and then you're getting that pump, a quick pump, right? And then you're having a contraction phase again over the summer period, okay? And then you're getting a rally from the end of the year on, from October again all the way in towards the next year, okay? And you can have that seasonal tendency tend to repeat itself, okay? And looking at Bitcoin and whatnot, and seeing where we are within current price history, I think that is very likely given our current price. So I can easily see how price now can move into sort of a contraction phase. And yeah, I think that's the highest probability right now. So the most profitable way to move forward most likely going to be to sort of trade the range, and we can use a lot of time trading within this stage, okay? So if we go to the 8-hour chart, let's go to the Bitcoin chart. All right, so if you look at the 8-hour chart, at the moment I'm getting a lot of buy signals. If you look to the bottom of my chart here, a lot of buy signals. It doesn't mean anything as the high time frame is slightly overextended, and we also have these seasonal tendencies, but at the same time we tend to rally towards or this end of the year, or sorry, end of April into May. We also have a seasonal tendency to at least move upwards, okay? And we want this lower spectrum of the chart to hold, okay? So we're starting to reclaim, but all of these levels are important to see, sort of what kind of price action, we can get from these levels. Now, on a 4-hour true, we're having the 8-hour and buy signals, right? So you can see how we're having all of these buy signals coming in at this stage of the market, having the buy signals coming in of this stage of the market. Now we're having the buy signals coming in right there, and each of these times you can see our price rallied, that we had these kind of signals. Okay, so I'm expecting a potential price run to come into the market and move from these levels back up, at least filling in some of the void within these patterns. Okay, that's sort of the main consensus. Now still we having the bearish price action, the bearish market structure. There is no reversal at all yet, so we haven't come in any kind of a reversal on any particular time frame. We're just seeing this small these small buy signals coming out. Okay, so I think that's about it. Now guys, let's talk later. Peace out.